Hello and welcome to our webinar. My name is Tani Alves. I'm a communication specialist for the organizational change management team within WashU IT. The IT OCM team prepares, supports, and helps the WashU community with the transition, transformation, and also with the impact of organizational IT changes. Joining me today are my colleagues, Melinda Nadler. She is a learning and development specialist, and she will be sharing with you a new way to experience the university services and systems through a live demo. And Michelle Hershey, she is a business alignment specialist for WashU IT enterprise applications, and she is here to answer technical questions during the Q&A session. So if you have a question, please send us through the Q&A, and we'll address all of the questions at the end of the demo. Speaking of a demo, here is our agenda, so you know what to expect from our webinar today. We'll start with an overview of ONE.WUSTL, and then the demo is going to show you how to make the best use of its capabilities. Then we'll address the publisher role, what it means to be a publisher, and how you can become one. After that, we'll explore the art of the possible and share some additional resources available to you and your peers at any time. We'll end our session with the Q&A and also with a 5-quick question survey that participants are going to be able to fill out to be entered into a drawing to win a ONE.WUSTL gift bag. But before we jump into the ONE.WUSTL overview, I'd like to start with a quick one-question poll to get just a better picture of who is here today. It's multiple choice, and the question is going to pop on the screen for you to choose an answer. So what is your role at the university? We have a lot of staff members, so let me share the results here. And you can see 94% are staff members. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Students 4% and faculty 4% also. That's great. That's gonna help Melinda with showing you some different things in the demo. So many of you may already know and use ONE.WUSTL in different capacities. The portal was first launched about 4 years ago. Some people have been using it every day since then. Others here have never heard of it. So let me introduce ONE.WUSTL for those of you who are not familiar with the portal. ONE.WUSTL is a single sign-on portal to access hundreds of university services and systems. In ONE, these services and systems are called tasks, as you will see during the demo. The portal is free to the entire WashU community, to guests, and to the general public. And it's available through the WashU mobile app that you can download in the iOS App Store and also Google Play. ONE does not require login with a WUSTL key for access. So if you have family members or guests visiting you on campus, for example, they can launch the interactive campus map, or they can access dining service menus across campus without logging into ONE. But since everyone joining our session today has a WUSTL key, let's explore some of the benefits of logging into ONE with your WUSTL key. ONE can eliminate the time we spend searching for a URL or through multiple browser bookmarks. As I said before, it's going to connect you to over 250 WashU services and systems via keyword search capabilities. It also allows you to narrow down your search so you can find the tasks that are pertinent to your role only. You can customize your experience, and you can favorite and organize tasks that you use more frequently. Melinda is going to show you that later. For example, if you are on the medical side, you can favorite Epic. If you are a faculty member of any school, you can favorite My Canvas. And if you are staff, you can favorite university administrative systems such as Workday, and your settings will be saved every time you access the portal from any laptop, any desktop computer, or mobile device. And that's because ONE is not browser dependent. A big advantage of using the single sign-on feature of ONE from a user perspective is that it reduces the number of times you need to verify your identity with dual 2FA. All tasks that are managed by WashU IT I'll give you some examples. Outlook, Box, Workday, PlanView, and many, many more will not require an additional 2FA after they are accessed through ONE. The new ONE.WUSTL interface was designed to create a more streamlined navigation. So now you have fewer menus and fewer steps to narrow down your search and also to customize your dashboard. The goal was to make ONE as easy to navigate as possible, to help users work efficiently, and to increase its adoption among the WashU community. So let's see how you can navigate ONE with the live demo.
Good morning. It is so great to see so many people interested in seeing what's new with ONE.WUSTL. I would love to start with a poll just to learn more as I share the demo. So I'm going to launch another poll for you just to learn how familiar you are with ONE.WUSTL already. All right. Let me share the answers with you. Let's look at the results. It looks like many of you are work besties with ONE.WUSTL and you use it a lot. Many people use it quite a bit, but there are some newbies here. So I would love to share some of the capabilities for you as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen for you so you can see what the new portal looks like in action. All right, here you can see the new user interface of ONE.WUSTL. When navigating the home screen, there is a search bar at the top, navigation options in the left pane menu, and global announcements on the far right. Global announcements are those announcements that are for all members of the WashU community. In the center of your screen, you see tasks. These are tiles that lead to the systems and services managed by WashU IT or just used by the WashU community. The task tile contains an information link. And when you select that information link, you can see a summary of what that task is, who to contact if your task is not working properly or you just need help with using that system or service. These are the contacts. And any announcements specific to users of that service. You can also launch the task directly from the task tile. At any point while using ONE, you can select ONE or Home to get back to the main screen. You can also find those task-specific announcements on the tiles. So you can see at this Legacy HRMS tile, this one in a circle. This one indicates that there is one announcement specific to users of that task. So if we select that red circle, that announcement comes up on your screen, and from there you can also launch the task. In some cases, when you're logged in, you can actually dismiss that task as well so that it doesn't pop up. I don't know, some of us are sensitive to seeing all the notifications on the phone and those little icons. And so if you're sensitive to that, you can turn those announcements off once you've read them. I'll show you how to do that once we're logged in. Now let's take a look at how to search for tasks in ONE. You can enter a search term in the search bar. Say that you are looking specifically for a specific task and you know its name. You can enter that name here and the results will populate with any task that is related to that system or service that you're looking for. So you can see My Canvas here and Kaltura. Below are also task centers. Let's take a look specifically at the Faculty Resources Task Center. This looks a lot like a task page. This task center has a description and announcements again. But what this is a curated group of tasks that are specific to a group or maybe an activity within the WashU campus. This one's specifically for faculty resources. Now, these tasks are not put into only one task center. They can be in multiple. Outlook, of course, it works for everybody in the university, not just faculty. All right, in addition to a task name, you can search for a keyword. So say that it's a typical Monday and you've forgotten the name of something you're looking for. You can just type in email and you're like, I don't even remember the name of it. So here you can find Outlook, Maestro, any other service you might need and locate it there. One way you can narrow your search is by changing your roles. So if you're searching for something specific, you can change your role here by selecting change, and there's faculty, staff, and students. So most of you are staff. So if you just want to see results that apply to staff, you can see them here. I will also show you when I'm signed in how to do that so that all your searches appear that way without having to do that extra step in between. So another way to search for tasks is to use the categories link on the left pane menu. So categories contain a list of tasks commonly associated with a department or an activity at WashU. For example, parking and transportation. This category lists tasks specific to parking and getting around any WashU campus. Tani already mentioned the benefits of signing into ONE.WUSTL. It reduces your need for multiple Duo 2FA verifications for tasks that are managed by WashU IT. If the task is not managed by WashU IT, you may still need to log in with those specific credentials. To sign in, you'll come to the right side. Now this says sign in and it has my name. This is intuitive, it remembers who you are, but you still have to sign in. So it could just say sign in or it could have your name. So then you'll scroll to the sign in button and click sign in. And this is my screen already signed in. So you also go through the WUSTL key information and verify using Duo 2FA. So now you're ready to customize your experience with ONE.WUSTL. What you'll do here is you will search for any task that you regularly use. Select the heart icon to add it to your favorites. Once you've selected all your favorites, you can select my favorites from the left pane menu to see just your favorites on the screen. You can also select the home or the one icon, and they will be listed at the top of your screen also. So another way to rearrange this order is to go to edit my favorites. So any task that I use most often, I probably want in this right corner. For some reason, that's where I love to click. So you might have your own, nuances as well. So you can rearrange these by selecting the task and dragging it. So you'll click and drag. I'm going to put Epic at the top here, and you can rearrange them that way. If you want to remove something from your favorites, you can select the X. And you can also, from the main screen, just select that heart again, and it will, when it turns black and white again, or gray and white again, it is removed. One extra feature that was not here before, that I never saw before, is this new bookmark feature. Now, there may be some task that you use all the time that is not like a website that's not really WashU managed. It's just your own personal. Maybe you set up appointments using Calendly. So you can put this here and select add and close. And at the bottom, you can see it's been added here. There is no icon. Let me show you what that looks like in your favorites. You'll select done editing. Notice that there is no I for information and no heart. So it's not a favorite, it's a bookmark, but it shows up in your favorites, okay? And if you select that, you'll end up in the Calendly webpage, okay? So it's a direct link. It's just a bookmark like you would bookmark on your browser, but it's not browser dependent. This goes with you everywhere. All right, so this is how you can begin personalizing your experience with ONE.WUSTL. I wanted to show you one last thing before we go on. I did mention I would share with you how to see the roles. So under your name, if you select your name in that initial sign-in menu, you can select roles here and automatically set them ahead of time so that that's your default. And that is what you see all the time. If you want to see all of them, of course, you can select all and apply that filter and see all of the tasks for every role within WashU. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about other things that you can do with ONE.WUSTL. Most of what I've shown you so far are capabilities that are available to everyone. Publisher capabilities, though, there's more capabilities, more permissions within One to create. So if you are a ONE.WUSTL publisher, you can not only create and edit tasks, you can create task centers and curate a set of tasks for a community within WashU. You can also create task announcements to relay information to users of your tasks or task centers. And so when we talk about the art of the possible, we want to talk about those systems and services or those features within ONE.WUSTL that are untapped within our community so far. The first one is checklists. Checklists are super cool. So what you might do, one use case would be maybe for the financial aid department. You could have a checklist that shows students where they can mark off that they filed their FAFSA, they completed their financial aid counseling, accepted their financial aid award, and set up a payment plan. Those checklists are only visible to the user and only when they're logged in. No one else can see what they've checked but them. It's just a service. It's something extra to give to the users so that they can follow a process. Another use case might be the steps in an IRB process. Maybe people are following that along as they're researching. New hires can keep track of items needed for HR through a checklist. So there's many possibilities. Another possibility is the use of pin sections. You can see an example here on the right. This is actually live right now on ONE.WUSTL. This is a curated group of tasks that are specific to students who are beginning a new term at WashU. Lastly, we have campuses. Campuses is an opportunity to organize tasks for specific schools or campuses. For example, there may be something that is only specific to the Met campus. And so that would be a way to use campuses as a tool. So how do you become a publisher? You're really interested, you want to check this out. You can request publisher access through a ServiceNow ticket. I will show you in a moment where to find that ticket. You can also, after that, complete Learn at Work training, and then you just start publishing. So as a side note, I want to mention that Learn at Work training is being updated. We have a new interface, so we want to give you better training that's more specific. And so in the coming weeks, in the next couple of weeks, we'll have that ready for you in Learn at Work. If you are eager and you want to have training sooner, you can put in a general service request in ServiceNow, and we will complete some one-on-one training with you, okay? All right, so I would like to share with you some resources. Where can you go if you want more information? And I know Tania is ready to drop a link for you to let you know where this is. So let me show you on my screen, and we'll drop the link also. All right, so here is our ONE.WUSTL webpage. This is managed by IT. And if you scroll down to about the middle of the page, there's a section for training and resources. This is standard access. This is for everyone in this left column. This web page here is getting the most out of one. I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is a training page. It includes a video on how to navigate, similar to the demo I just did with you. And below, if you want to just get to one thing, maybe you're looking for how to search for tasks and systems. Here is a list here on how to navigate those. So that's one place to go. Down below is support. So if there's a task that you use, all your colleagues use it, all your classmates use it, but it's not even on here. And you're like, why isn't it on here? I'd love for it to be here. You can request that through this form here. This is the task and task center creation form in ServiceNow. This link goes directly to that form. This is a ONE.WUSTL announcement form. There's an announcement that you'd like added and you're not a publisher. You can add in here a request for an announcement to be made on ONE.WUSTL. And if you have any other questions, if you're curious about something and you want to know how something works, you can submit a general service request in ServiceNow to ask those questions and someone will get back to you. Publisher access on the right side here. If you want to become a publisher, the form is here for you to complete on ServiceNow. So you can select this form and fill this out. And once you get that permission, you can do the publisher training on Learn at Work and then begin publishing. And it's nice to do that once you have the access so that you can practice or create your task alongside and see that live. The publisher guidelines and task checklist are here, and also the publisher user guide. So once you become a publisher, there's some easily accessible resources for you. All right, that concludes my demo.
As you can see, there's a lot of resources available to you. Thank you for taking the time to join us today, and I hope you all have a great day.